today's class will be learning about Maven. So before that, like we need to know like what is Maven and what is the role of Maven in DevOps, as well as what are the supporting softwares or tools we need to work with Maven. So first of all, what is a Maven? Let's see someone like message me and they want me to tell about like track, like what all soft tools we have learned and like how the DevOps will be evolving. I guess that was the question from someone. Okay, this is like a periodic table for DevOps, means tools which will be involved in DevOps. So if you want to work on DevOps or if you're looking your career to explore on DevOps, you need to be learning these tools. At least one tool, you need to be mastering at least one tool from each section, except MySQL as well as this testing one, database and testing one. So like if you want to go to database or if you are working on database, you can migrate yourself to DevOps, or if you're working in testing area, then you can come to DevOps. So, but like without this, but as a DevOps engineer, you won't be working with testing or else database, but it's very good to have a knowledge about that. And about MySQL or about database, some job requirements require you to have a minimum database knowledge to write some database scripts. So like database queries for MySQL. Some of the jobs will be looking for that, but in some jobs, there will be a person for database and there will be a team for testing. So as a DevOps engineer, I just want to go through from all the tools. So we'll be working with SCM tool, build tool, continuous integration tool, repo management tool, deployment tool, configuration provisioning tool, and containerizing tool, cloud, release management, collaboration. So for more information of this tool, how and where they are used, so you can listen to my previous videos. My previous videos are available on 5dimension/blogs. So you can visit that page and you can check for our previous classes. So in this today's class, I will be covering this particular section called build. So what is a build? I will be telling you, but what are the tools involved, like compared to like, there's a tool called Maven, there's a tool called Gradle, and Build Master, MS Build. So why we use this? So I'm coming to a DevOps process. So developers will write a code, they will push the code to code repository. From there, the code is built, then it is tested, then it is deployed to different environment or cloud. So now Maven comes under build. It's not a build tool. It's a build tool as well as it does other things. So when the developer, let's say a developer is a Java developer, he writes a code in .java file and he pushes that .java file to our code repository. Code repository, let's say Git. We have covered Git in our previous classes. So if you haven't listened to Git, you need to follow the previous class as it is very much important and it's a basic for DevOps position. So when developer sends a file .java, which he wrote the code and sends it to code repository. So after that, he needs to compile to run a Java, like basic, you need to know like what is Java, or basic knowledge. And Java is like a software development, or like it's like a programming language, you can say, where you can write different softwares. So we will create a file called .java, let's say xyz.java. We need to compile to get class file. So 100 developers will write different codes and they need to compile it. So they can't compile on their own system because their class class need to be available on that server. So they will push the repository. Then from there, Maven will work as a build tool and it will compile that particular file and generate .jar or .var application. Then that particular .jar or .var file is sent to different environment. It will package with different things and it will go on from there. So where does it come? So like where the Maven, like which tool works with what? So most of the companies will prefer different building tools, but mostly though, like you can, like if you are getting a job, so 9 out of 10, you might have chance to work on Maven as well as MS Build. Prior to Maven, they were using Ant, but like Maven is better than Ant, so like it has more features than Ant. As well as if you are working with .NET projects, then you will be working with MS Build. So how Maven works and what are the prerequisites to work with Maven? As you know, so like Maven works for Java files. So it means it requires minimum Java. So what it will do, it will compile the code and it will package it in .jar or .var file. Apart from compiling, it runs the test as well as it creates. For example, if there is a developer and there is a tester. So DevOps is a role of an automation. We are doing things automatically instead of doing manually. We are doing everything automatically. So if there is a developer and there is a tester, so a developer will write the code and tester will test that particular code. But over here, there's no need of like a tester. A developer can write a test cases and both files can be executed together, and Maven will execute the file. If there is an error, it will throw the error. And if it's good, then it will compile it and generate a .jar or .var file and generate a report. Okay, our .jar and .var are Java Achieve Code files. Yes. For desktop applications, and .var is for VAR application, like website application or web apps. So how it works. So let's see what is Java. So I will be emailing this particular manual for Maven. So if you go through this particular manual, you will be covering basically all the concepts of Maven, and it is more important to go through this, and there are some examples in this particular document, and you need to practice it. And also apart from this, I haven't seen anyone practicing Git because there is no files. I told everyone to just push some files to that Git repo, but I haven't seen any files over there. So I request everyone to practice it, because if you can't practice, then you can't learn. I'm teaching this class. So if you want to get a job, is to get a real-time experience. If you just want to listen this class, listening, you can visit YouTube or any like Linux Academy or Udemy. You can get lots and lots of videos with more description. So if you can't practice, then it's waste of your time. Because if you want to get a job as like a fresher or experience, you need to practice. Lot of practice are required, because DevOps need a lot of practice, and DevOps is not a role of fresher. It should be an experienced person. So if you do a minimum one project, what I'm teaching is more than enough to get a job, because I'm teaching you how to build a package, how to deploy it to different variables, different platforms. So this you guys from starting to an end of the DevOps role. So I request everyone to please practice. So what is Maven? To answer this question depends upon your own perspective. So what does it mean? So many of the users tell that like Maven is a build tool because it build a package. How it build, we will check later, like what it is doing in background. But building is like if you are writing a Java file, it will compile all the files and it will create a package like .zip. There are like bunch of files and it will just package it. So if you are deploying, if you are writing a code or if you are writing a software, you won't be sending separate files. You will be sending a particular jar file or var file to your customer, or you will deploy it and you will run that particular jar and install the application which is present in that particular the folder. So Maven not only just build the tool, it will also deploy artifacts from source code, as well as it is also a project manager. It runs the test. It also creates reports. So it's like pretty much good software. But mostly, like in your real time, you won't be working with command line, but you should have a basic knowledge about what it is doing in the background. Because if you get an error in a real time, you won't be knowing like what is the exact rectify that if you didn't know about like a command line from there. So for that particular, you need to go through this particular document which explains more deeply about what is Maven, how it is, why they are using it, what is the common interfaces and reuse through, and what is the one of the plus point of this, like we can now what is plugins, Maven plugins. Okay, I will go back over here in this diagram, as well as I will open another diagram from class 1. This one. Okay, in this diagram you can see we have learned Git and GitHub. There is a Maven over there, and there is a build. This is like a symbol of Jenkins. So what it is doing is we won't be doing separately Git push, or we won't be installing separately Maven. We will be installing Jenkins on a Jenkins server. Then we will be adding GitHub plugin and Maven plugin in this Jenkins, so that Jenkins is like an orchestra. So let's say it's a drum and it's a guitar. So there will be like different tools. This is just a platform which allows us to connect different tools. So Maven is one of that. If a developer pushes the code from GitHub, then Jenkins will take the code from GitHub and it will push that particular code to Maven, and it will compile that code, and it will create .mvn or any kind of file, and then it will send to Artifactory or Nexus. Then from there, it is sent to different platforms over here. So this is like a CI/CD. So if you are looking for a job called build and release, then you should be having a knowledge about Maven, GitHub, Jenkins, Artifactory. If you are looking job only on SVN or source code management, then you should be focusing only on GitHub, branching strategies and tagging strategies, which I have told in our previous class. So you need to, like, if you want to give an interview, then you need to be understanding the whole process, how and why and where the data is flowing. So from source code report to CI to Artifactory to Ops console to resource model to info. So like you should be understanding this diagram, and you should be explaining this diagram to your interviewer. So this will help you to get a job easily. It's very simple. Complicated, it's very simple. Just you need to understand how and why we are sending a data from one particular tool to another, and then we are deploying. So again, you can go through all this documents about what is like Maven, comparing Maven and Ant. So like in Maven, we need to write this much of build.xml file. The same file can be written as in like 4 to 5 lines in pom.xml. So this particular file is very important. Maven works on pom.xml. So what is pom.xml? It's like a dependency management file or configuration file for Maven. So what does it mean? Means like if you are running a Java application and you need some extra additional software to run. So let's see if you guys have like familiar with C or any kind of programming language. If you notice like there is a library file. So if you're writing a program, we need to have a library file to be included in our program. So same way, Maven pom.xml will work like that. If there is an error, it will throw an error calling dependency. I tried to push the file but unable to access 5 dimensions. If you get time, please check it. Yeah, you can let me know about like if you guys have any problem with Git after this class. So about this, so where was okay from pom.xml. So pom.xml basically consists of these 4 lines. It has like more lines, but basically minimum is model version, group ID, artifact ID, and version ID. Group ID is like your project name, how you want to call your project. Version is like which version of file. You can see like there will be like many versions of a particular file. As I was talking about iOS 8 or iOS 10.0, iOS 3. So the same version, like there's like for Java, there will be JDK 1.8.0 or 1.8.04. So the same way the version will work. And artifact ID is my project name, as well as group ID is for group name or group naming a project like what it is, and artifact is my project. Snapshot we worked on in I guess in Git. I've shown you like what is a snapshot. So like we need to have at least a snapshot. We need to mention a snapshot like what we are working on and what is the type of the project is. So for this, a basic requirement will be installing a Java. So or I won't be installing this Maven on Linux. I will be installing this on Windows, because mostly like we won't be installing using a plugin in Jenkins. So for our next classes, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will show you how to install Jenkins and how to add files. Maven.pom. It's not a library file. You can call it a like configuration file. If you need to add some files, or if you need to add any dependency, if you need to edit anything, it's a pom.xml file which we need to do it. Please share previous videos, also these documents. Please visit my website also so that I can add to your email group if you are new to this class. Yes, configuration file. Okay, I will be installing this on Windows. I'm opening command prompt. Okay, so for this prerequisite is you need to have Java installed in your machine. So let's say whether I have Java or not, Java space -vr version. The system cannot find the file C. Okay, so I have removed Java from my laptop because I want to show you how to install Java, because many of them don't know like how to install Java. So go to a website, go to Google and say Java download. So I went over here and I'm searching on Google to install a Java. And over here, you can click over here to Java software downloads, click over here to install Java. I do have previously downloaded those files, so it's there in my desktop. So if you want, I can send you the link for that. Okay, JDK, to double click. The same thing if you want to install in to the code for that is like a command to install Java in Ubuntu is sudo space apt-get space install space default _ JRE. Then again you need to install default _ JDK. So from that you can install Java. Meanwhile, it is installing, so I will go through this document. Okay, so this is like installing step of Maven, how to install a particular Maven. So you can see over here like basic, we need to have Java installed in our desktop or in our machine. From there, we need to download Maven and we need to install. We'll go through steps later. Meanwhile, I request everyone to install Java on their own laptops. You can work with me. I will go slow. if you guys want to, so that it will be a great help for you guys. So while listening, you guys can practice by yourself, so it will be helpful for you. I have just went on Google and I have typed Java to download JDK. Do you have any good link to download Java? Let me check whether I have that. Okay. Just go on this link and click over here. You can see that Java. Just click on it. You can start downloading it. Just click next, next. In most of the companies, so they will be asking a question about like pom.xml, like where we can define dependencies of a particular file in Maven. So it's a pom.xml. So what are the dependencies and everything. So if you need, like if you're really working and there's an error in Jenkins called dependency missing, so you can copy that error and you can just copy that command and click on Google and you will find that particular package dependency name. Just mention the dependency in pom.xml. So it will automatically download from the server and it will execute your program over there. So it's installing. This document is very much helpful it will be like very much helpful if you're getting like more knowledge about Maven and Ant or how Maven works. It does have like some sample projects as well. I want you guys to like just run and like follow these commands to run the particular sample project. So if you can run, like there are 3 to 4 sample projects, I guess, over here. So if you can run this one, so you will be having a good idea and good hands on Maven. So it will be very much helpful. Oh, in this lecture, like I will be showing you basic, like how to install Maven, how to run Maven, how to compile it, and how to get pom.xml file and what will be there in pom.xml file, and how to generate .jar file. So after this, then we will go to Jenkins, and Jenkins will be on it won't use any command, so it will be on GUI mode. So I will show you guys how to install Maven plugin, and then we will compile the particular package, and we will check like whether we can access that particular file .jar file or not from Jenkins. So. Okay. Meanwhile, like it's installing, like you guys can ask a question. Like, anyone have a problem with installing, working with GitHub? Okay. Does anyone practice GitHub or Git? Anyone got time to practice? Yes, I do have problem with. I will check GitHub account. So what was the problem you were facing, brother? Photo unable to access and so the request URL 10.0. 3 unable to access file dimension via command when use push. This is what I got. I'll just sign out. Did you guys follow the same step which I have shown on the video? Because I have tried with 2 different accounts on that particular video. So still like I'm unable to clone and pull. What is grid? Or what is git? Okay, meanwhile, you can also install like download Maven from the website. So Maven space download. So just enter Maven space download on Google. You can find the first link, mavenapache.org download. Just click on that particular website. And you can see over here, system requirement is Java JDK 3.3 or memory is no minimum, disk 10 MB, operating system, no minimum requirement. And over here you can find 4 different files with 4 different extensions. Start.gz is for Ubuntu or Linux version. Binary zip can be for Windows, and source star achieve can be for Ubuntu or Linux, and source zip achieve for Windows. So you need to click on second one, Apache Maven 3. This particular file, and download that particular file and wait for an installation. Wait for Java to be installed. So after once Java is installed, so you guys can install Maven. So meanwhile, I will show you like how to install it. Just download that particular file. Just unzip that particular file in any location or in your private folder name called Maven or any folder. Just open that file. You will be getting this on the 7 files: bin, boot, config, lib, license, and so. So go to bin, copy particular like location till bin, copy that location, click on start, computer, right click on my computer, properties. Let me go there. It says successfully installed. Okay. So if Java is installed first, for basic requirement of Java to work on our computer is like we need to set. So for setting environment variables, we need to go click on my computer, properties, advanced system settings, click on environment variables, and then over here you will find you need to create first new. First we will set the path for Java, then we will go for rest of things. So for that particularly we need to go to C, program files, click on Java, JDK, not JRE, JDK. First copy this particular location and then go to your, once again I will show you how to go over here. Start My Computer, Properties, Advanced System Settings, click on Environment Variables. Over here, like in second system variable box, create new Java underscore home and paste the particular path over here. Say OK. And then again search for path. This path, edit, go to that particular location, JDK, open bin. For first one, I have just placed till JDK 1.8, but for path, I'm also including bin directory. Control C, copy. In last, Control V, I have pasted till bin, colon, OK, OK, OK. So over here, Java space hyphen version, it shows Java version 1.8 has been installed. Before it says the system cannot find the Java particular file, now Java is installed. Same thing for Ubuntu Maven. Just go to here where you have copied that particular Ubuntu file, like that particular Maven folder. Go to that folder, click on bin, copy the location from bin. Then again, go to Advanced System Settings. So we need to set path for both Java as well as Maven. So create new mvn underscore 2 or any file extension you name. In this I'm including bin. Click OK. Then again I'm searching for path. Again path after Java I'm just pasting that colon OK, OK, OK. Now again mvn hyphen version. Okay, I need to close this, I guess. mvn hyphen GLPL. Restart that command prompt. Then your Maven is installed over here. You can see your Maven is installed now. Okay, for once again, I'm showing like in slow mode. Of once your Java is installed, click over here, My Computers, go to C, then click on Program Files, then go to Java, then JDK, not JRE, go to JDK, copy this first location without bin folder, copy this and go to Windows, Computer, Properties. On your left hand side you can find Advanced System Settings. Then Environment Variables. Then over here click New and create Java underscore name. Over here paste that particular location. JDK file to download, so you need to go to the link which I have sent you and then just click on this particular thing over here. I've just sent you this particular location, like this particular link. Click over here. Just a second. So it prompts me to some other page and I need to click over here, accept license. Then I need to search for my operating system. So mine is Windows 64-bit. So I have clicked over here, then it will start downloading. So for you, like if you are using Windows 10 or Windows 8, check is it like 64 or 86, click over here. For Linux or Mac and Solaris. Once it is installed, once it is downloaded, you need to install that particular for Java software. Then you need to go to that particular Java folder. Do we have to have a latest Java? What is the Java? Doesn't matter. So like if you are having 1.8, 1.7, 1.6, it will work with all. So mostly like it's just an example from our side, like our company will be using different kind of Java. So depends upon their environment, but it will support any kind of Java. So you can see over here, it says Maven. So you can see over here, okay, the minimum is JDK 1.7 or above for this particular 3.3. So if you have our company is using less than 3.2, so like there will be a specific for Java JDK 1.6 or something. But for this 3.3 version, we need to have 1.7 or above to execute this particular file. So again, we need to create over here capital Java _ home, then just paste that particular location on this one. You need to copy the location from JDK, copy this and paste it over here and press OK. Then again look for path, click on path, then click on edit, and in last just paste that particular Java location with bin /bin, then colon, then say OK, then close. Same for the Maven, you need to follow the same thing for the Maven. So you can see over here our Maven is installed. To check Maven install or not, following command is mvn -v. It stands for Maven version. So Apache Maven 3.39 has been installed. It also says like about my Java as well as my operating system is Windows 7 and version is 6.1 and processor is AMD 64, family mode DOS. Is it okay till over here, or anyone have any problem understanding how to set up the path and how to install Maven? If someone have any problem, please message over here, or else we will proceed further. Link to download Maven? Sure. You can ask me as many times as you want. I will just copy this particular link. I will be sharing this link in email too. This is a link to download Maven. Just click on that link. Click on that link and then second option with zip file. So you need to unzip in a particular location, then copy that particular location path to your environmental variables. So how to do it once again is my computer after downloading and installing. So after installing Java, you can see Java folder in over here in your laptops or computers, particularly like C program files, not program 86, just program files. Go to Java, JDK, it might be any version, JDK 1.7 or anything. Double click, you can see bin. First copy this particular location, then go back to your My Computer properties, system advanced system settings, environment variables, and click on new, enter Java _ home, and again paste that particular location, then say OK. Then again search for path over here in this path, edit that particular path, and in last, you should not delete the whole particular thing. In the last, just Control V or just paste it over here. After colon, just paste it and then again colon. Then OK, OK, OK. Same thing for Maven. Go to Maven folder where you have unzipped it. So I have unzipped particular file over here. So how to unzip it? Just right click, extract all, and browse the location where you want to extract it. I have extracted in this location. Double click on bin, copy this particular location from bin, including bin. Then again go back to advanced system, my computer properties, advanced system variables, environment variables. Then create a new something called Maven underscore XYZ or something. Then paste it over here. Then again go to path. After Java, edit it. Last again add this particular link and close it with colon and say OK, OK, and OK. Now again you can see over here your Maven is installed as well as your Java is installed. To check Maven is installed or not, command is mvn space -v. This is our first command for our Maven class. Enter. It will show the command. It will show like my Maven is installed. For to checking a Java is installed or not, Java space --, version, enter. Okay, not only single hyphen. Okay, over here Java is installed as well as Maven installed. Okay, apart from that, to clear screen on Ubuntu or Linux, it is clear. But in Windows, it's CLS. So you should be careful with that. I've cleared the screen. Now, I have to create a project to start with. So first I will create a folder in a specific location where I can execute my project. So in this location, I am creating a new folder. Let's say it as testing underscore Maven testing Maven. Okay. Okay, normally I have created a folder called testing Maven. You can create your own. Just copy this path, go to your command prompt, cd space, right click, paste the location. Same for cd in Ubuntu as well as same for in Windows. Enter. Now you are in location over here. There is nothing in this particular file. So what I need to do is I need to execute Maven command. So our one more Maven command is mvn space --help. So this is our second command. First is Maven space -v for version. This one is mvn space --help. It will show you all the commands and what it will do. So just a basic command to check for a help. Now to create a project. So to create a project, command is mvn space archetype generate. So this is just for a demo. Instead of archetype, there might be a different name as depends upon your company, what project you are doing. It's just a sample for our project, like just to get a basic idea about how Maven works. So just enter it. So it's generating it will generate, as like you can see there is no files over here in background. So now it's scanning for projects and it's downloading some files and plugins from Maven website. So you can see like it shows like downloading plugins and different files. Yes, archetype is not a command, but it's like a project. So I am just creating a project archetype. So for a demo project, to create a demo project, you need to write take it as a command, because in real time we won't be doing it manually. We will be including Maven with Jenkins. So we don't need to write archetype. We don't need to mention over there in archetype. So to create at your place, you need to type archetype. So for the first time, it will be downloading bunch of files, supporting documents for Java and everything. So now it's asking for me choose a number or apply filter. So these are like different filters. So for installation in your company or in any company, they will be providing you with what kind of project it is and what kind of filter you need to use for that particular project. This will be given by your developer. I am just using the same 909 just as a default or something. And over here, choose org.apache Maven archetype Maven version. So version, you can use any, like out of 6, you can use any kind of that. But I'm using, let's say I will be using 5, or choose a number 6. Let's say 5 over here. Define value for property of group ID. Group ID is a unique ID among other projects. So let's say I will give org.file dimension mention.maven. Enter. Artifact ID is your project name. So let's say testing _Maven. And it says version snapshot. It's like a snapshot version. It's 1.0 snapshot. These are like just a basic one I am writing. It may vary depending upon your project. It's just to get a clear picture or basic idea about how Maven works. Enter. Now it's asking package. It's jar. Enter. Now it is asking me confirm properties, configuration, group ID, so and so. I said yes. So you can see this will be stored in your pom.xml. So I will press Y, enter. So it says build successful, and there is a folder got created over here called testing Maven. So if I double click on this testing Maven, there are two particular, one is directory called source and another is pom.xml. You can see the extension over here is XML. Pom is a file name and extension of the particular file name is .xml. I will talk about this later. First we'll see what source contains. Source will contain two particular directories. One will be main and another will be test. So what is main and what is test? Let's see what is there in main. So main contains Java and it contains jar, which I have given a group ID, or not a group ID, it's like properties or file type, I guess. So there is a particular file called app.java is created. It's just a basic one. I will just click edit to see what's there in that particular app.java. This file has been created because we use archetype generate. It's just a simple project for understanding Maven concept. It just say nothing but hello world. That's it. It doesn't have much code. It's a Java code which will be written by developers. So developers will be writing .java file. This might be contain huge thousand lines program. So that will be stored in this particular. It's not the Java folder. I have given a Java name. That's the reason it's a Java. It will be stored in source main and then under that particular name. So what is test? Test is nothing but app.test.java. It will be a test for that particular jar file, app test. So over here you can see there is like a JUnit. It's like a unit test. framework test, create the test, public test string name tested. So this is a test case written by testers or unit testing or other testing team or a developer. So we can see two different files over here. One is main. Main is like our main content of a file or a program or application which we are working on, and with that we will be writing a test. These are like two different files. Test is used to test particular Java file over here, dot file. So, but there is no one has compiled that particular file. To work with Java, we need to have a class file. We need to generate a class file. So, test Maven contains source. In that there is a folder, two folders, main as well as test. Main will contain normal Java program file. Test will contain unit test. In this, let's see what is pom.xml. I'm just right click and edit. So over here you can see our model version. Group ID is the ID which I have given while creating this particular file. Artifact ID I have given testing Maven. Packaging I have given jar. Version I have given 1.0 snapshot. And name I have given testing underscore Maven. So, and there is a dependency. You can see this dependency. It's very useful because for this particular small project as a demo project, for running the test, there is a dependency required called JUnit to run that test. So it depends upon your project. There might be different dependencies required. Many times developers will mention that dependency in their pom.xml. If they have not mentioned that dependency and we are facing the error, we need to just copy that particular error and just paste it in Google. It will show this particular dependency is required. Then in same way, we need to mention a dependency in pom.xml. If you work, like if you are working continuously, then you don't need to copy that particular command on Google. You will be getting an idea about which dependency is missing so that you can work from there. Now, our work is to compile that particular file, compile that particular Java file and get Java C file. Then we need to install that Maven to get .jar file. So let's go back over here. So there is only testing Maven. There are no more files. So go to your command prompt and write mvn space compile. Compile. So this is our fourth command. First is Maven version. Second is Maven help. Third one is for Maven archetype generate to create a file. And instead of given that, I have just entered Maven archetype generate, then I have given that particular file names by manually. To do work automatically, you can mention the whole command in a single line. So if you're writing a script and if you are creating the project, you can just mention that all the commands in a single line and you can run it. So for this Maven in compile, I just enter compile. So it says fail, your goal requires a project to execute, but there is no pom.xml file. So to be in pom.xml, I need to be in that particular folder. But I am currently over here in testing Maven, but there is no pom.xml file. So I need to go to that particular repository where pom.xml is present. Pom.xml will help the executor processor to run that specific command. So I will go to that particular folder, cd test. Now I will run that command, Maven compile, compile, enter. So it will start compiling that particular file. Also it's testing that build. With the help of pom.xml, it will start executing the Java file, it will compile it, then it will perform tests. If there is any failure, then it won't execute completely. Plus our project is like a small one, so that's the reason it will be successful mostly. Someone has asked me about what are the installation process of Maven in Java for Linux. If I have time, then I will show you how to install this particular software. It's on Linux, but it's normally if you want to install Java on Ubuntu, its command is sudo space apt-get space install default hyphen jdk. Then again we need to go for sudo apt-get install default underscore jre. After that installation, then we need to download Maven, then we need to set the path in environmental variables. So there is like a long process for that. And is this a correct path for that particular JDK location? I don't know exactly your location from where you're copying it. Mostly like it should be the one. If you're copying, just go to your C, then program file, then Java, then JDK, then whatever. First, you need to set the path Java home without including bin folder. Then for second time, you need to include bin in your path. So here our build is successful. It says it got compiled. Let's go over here. Now you can see one more folder called target has been created. So what is the target file contains? Let's open this file. It contains classes as well as Maven status. Let's go to classes first. It contains again Java. Now you can see app.class. Before there was a file normally over here in source, it's maven.java. Now in target repository classes jar, you can find app.classes. That means that particular jar file has been executed. Now let's say what is the Maven status, Maven compiler plugin. We did compile that, the reason that particular compile plugin has been created. Now what will be our next step? Now our next step is to get a jar file. So to get that particular jar file, we need to enter mvn space hyphen install. There are other steps. Prior to this, I will show you that particular steps in the document, but this is like common. You can, so if you write this particular mvn hyphen install, it will compile and it will follow all the steps and it will install. So enter. So there is no hyphen in between, just Maven space install and enter. It says it's testing the snapshot. Snapshot is like that whole folder or whole files. So it's running the test as well as it will compile it again. It will check it. Now it's performing test. Now if it is successful, it should create jar file. So build is successful. Now let's go to target repository. How I'm going is, this is my folder where I have created testing Maven. Go to target. Now you can see testing underscore Maven hyphen 1.0 snapshot.jar is created. Now this is your software has been created. Now you need to deploy into different location. As per this diagram, we have created build and we have applied some tests. Now it's time to deploy to some other location. That means your development, your other testing, or your production depends upon your company and your environment. So this was a really basic knowledge of Maven, what you guys need to have. So if you need more information and more project and you need to practice this particular, go to this particular file. I will be emailing you guys this one. And there are some like sample projects over here. I want you, if you seriously looking job in DevOps, you need to perform this test. You need to run some applications and test like what will be the different outputs. So the command which I was talking, you can execute in one shot is this one. Maven archetype generate the group ID, artifact ID, package version, so that you will get that particular file executed in one shot. So pom.xml is here. Source contains two files, source main, source test, and main contain main Java, test contain test Java. So building a simple project, MVN install, all the tests are done, simple project, these are done. Help, core concepts we have created over here. If you need more, there are some other commands for Maven is Maven resources, Maven compile, test resource, test compile. So if you need more knowledge about how it works, so if you need more and more knowledge, you can just use this particular file and work on it. So this was our Maven class. So from here, there's like customizing a Maven project. So this is like creating our own Maven project from chapter 4. So you can create your own Maven project from here. So if you have any questions regarding to this class, then post the questions now. So we will work on it. I will be stopping our recording over here, and I will take questions.